Stirring up sweet success. This week in Boomtown takes a trip to Knox County, where a local company is booming and baking up a storm.
We were able to buy the double rack oven, which took us from baking about 300 cookies at a time to baking over 1,000 in one bake.
Find out how grants from Jobs Ohio, with the help of the Columbus Partnership, are scaling entrepreneurs into big business. Plus, Boeing and COSI together launching a national workforce initiative right from Newark, connecting 8th graders to jobs of the future. And what would a boomtown be without cars? It's a concept some experts say could actually work.
I see Columbus as a place that has just so much potential that's very close to being able to be realized.
Later, we'll look at how cars have shaped our culture, our cities, and how our region grows. Central Ohio is booming. We all see it, and we all can feel it. So here's what we uncovered this week in Boomtown. Bed Bath & Beyond is back. The iconic store is returning to Easton through a deal with the Container Store, which announced a chain-wide store-changing event to help phase in Bed Bath & Beyond products. The company says it is actively reshaping stores to make room for, quote, what's next. I wonder if those 20% off coupons will still work. Thanks for joining us for This Week in Boomtown. I'm Angela Ann. We start our headlines today in Worthington, where a landmark nearly 2 centuries old begins a new era. Wolf's Ridge Brewing opened its 3rd location this week inside the historic Worthington Inn. The nearly 200-year-old hotel closed in 2018, but now this collaboration is reviving a piece of local history while bringing fresh energy into the space.
Any existing character we tried to keep intact, so the primary bar in the upstairs space, people will remember that's still really intact fully. We just added a lot more wood to the space.
So again, the inn dates nearly 2 centuries, back to the 1830s. It is now open until 10 p.m., except Fridays and Saturdays, where closing time is 1 hour later. Well, people in Dublin are once again voicing concerns over how the school district is dealing with growth. Take a listen.
We are here redistricting because of the overcrowding at Jerome High School. If the map is drawn that does not properly fix that principle, vote it down.
Well, Dublin school leaders say they need to find a solution to the overcrowding at Jerome High School and balance enrollment across the city. The Board of Education is hoping to have a new set of redistricting maps by June after pausing those efforts last fall following pushback from parents. Some parents now say they're worried that these new plans could put more teen drivers on already busy roads.
Definitely the biggest concern is safety. We want to have some faith that our kids can get to school safely.
Dublin City Schools says there is no final plan yet, but acknowledges each of Dublin's 25 schools presents unique considerations. Well, CODA this week hosted several public meetings to hear more about what you want for the next 5 years. It is looking to make changes to short-range transit, which includes changing routes, timing, even new connections. CODA says it plans to use this roadmap to meet the needs of a growing region and add up to 45% more service by the year 2050. Now, there is an online link through CODA where you can still share your thoughts. Well, with nearly 1 million more people expected to move to Central Ohio over the next decade, that's a lot of cars on the road. But what if the way we move is shaping the way we live and not for the better? That was this week's topic at the weekly Columbus Metropolitan Club Luncheon. Life after cars, reimagining cities for people. This conversation really focused on how car culture has reshaped our cities, our communities, and our climate, and what it might take to build a future centered on people instead of vehicles. Here's what some experts had to say.
A lot of Americans have only been car dependent. They've only known car dependence. They haven't known what it's like to live in a walkable city. And so the skills of how do you use transit? How do you use bike lanes? What is safe? How do I enjoy a city in this way? It's almost like There's remedial education that's necessary, frankly, to sort of make the new city legible to its residents.
I think Columbus is behind a lot of the other cities we've seen. There isn't a lot of like protected on-street bicycle infrastructure, for example, but it feels like Columbus could catch up very quickly, given, first of all, the geometry. There's just lots of space. And if the political leadership can kind of catch up to where I feel like a lot of the planners and the people inside city government, the people running transit are, and what they want to do.
American beer giant Anheuser-Busch recently announced a new workforce training commitment for domestic manufacturing. It is a $600 million investment that will help open 15 new technical skills training centers across the U.S. Columbus is one of those locations. Anheuser-Busch says it expects 90% of its manufacturing workforce to benefit from these new training centers over the next 5 years, as it looks to create sustainable careers and not just jobs. Well, COSI joined Boeing this week to launch a national workforce initiative with the help of 8th graders in Newark. The goal? To connect students with real careers through hands-on learning. After all, these kids are the workforce of the future. 10 TV photojournalist Jay Novotny shows us now how students at Liberty Middle School took part in the Hive before it travels to 20 more cities across the country.
Well, we're excited to be here today in Newark, Ohio, where we're launching the Hive. It's going to be a national roadshow with Boeing to highlight amazing jobs that kids can have growing up in the future, but also jobs that they can have right now in our community. Want to do another one?
Anybody else? I do. About how does this go?
I'm just looking forward to the rockets because I'm excited to see how high they go.
Give it a second.
Whoa, whoa. Ready?
And like launched a little flying saucer. I feel like if you have enjoyment for any of these activities around here, you could definitely find a career path.
So make sure you're looking up, down, behind you.
I learn better when it's like hands-on stuff, so like this is definitely a great opportunity to do that.
We're gonna grab a sheet of paper. We're gonna build an airplane.
Look, you pulled this. Pulled one side.
The goal here is to engage kids when they're young and they're excited. They're thinking about the roadmap to the future, and it's better to start young because then you can help them see what, wow, yes, I can do that.
Oh, your goals.
Wow, best way to learn. Thank you, Jay, for that story. Well, while Central Ohio's manufacturing sector booms, thousands of jobs sit unfilled across the state, and many people who are ready to work can't get hired because of their past. 10 TV station Akin tells us about a program that is filling the need for both sides.
The daily grind. It's where Abraham Smith finds joy.
I love building, working with my hands, solving problems.
He works as a machine cleaner for Midwest Acoustifiber in Delaware, an opportunity he landed after struggling to find work.
When they told me about manufacturing, I said, okay, well, this could be something that I might be interested in.
He found that guidance from TAP, Training Assessment Placement Project, helping those who have been just as involved connect with meaningful employment.
That's what I wanted TAP to do, was to open those doors, and it has.
Vicki Miller saw roles in manufacturing available and started TAP as a way to bridge the gap with what she calls an untapped workforce looking for a second chance.
They have the desire. They want to change. They want to make an impact.
TAP not only connects individuals with jobs, but then follows up with 6 months of coaching once they're placed.
We've got to let them in, or we're going to keep reincarcerating them.
According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, 1 in 3 adults has a criminal record, which can exclude them from some jobs entirely. Ultimately, it creates a larger challenge for those who are formerly incarcerated to find employment, a key marker in reducing recidivism.
Meanwhile, the manufacturing industry has more jobs available than workers to fill them, especially in Ohio. The Ohio Manufacturing Workforce Blueprint shows manufacturers will face more than 35,000 job openings each year through 2037, driven by our state's growth, modernization, and workforce turnover.
Everyone should have an opportunity for a second chance.
Acoustifiber is no longer experiencing that kind of shortage since partnering with TAP in November of 2023, hiring new team members who have gone on to receive promotions within the company.
We fill the positions that we need, and then it gives them purpose too.
Exactly what TAP was meant to do.
It's hope. it's hope.
Abraham Smith says that's what he's found. All he needed was the opportunity.
People can change. People are out here and we're willing.
Now to this. Something sweet is baking up in Fredericktown, Ohio. It's about an hour north of Columbus in Knox County, and the company here is growing faster than it can keep up with demand. In fact, one of the treats in this photo here and in that bakery is now being devoured by thousands at the Kentucky Derby. So we took a trip to Simply Sweet, a specialty bakery that is proving why investing in small businesses also helps to keep people employed in small towns looking to grow. Simply Sweet.
And I was like, we don't have enough.
Is more than just a bakery.
It is, it's a family.
Amanda Martinez started here 3 years ago.
We got a good group of people working together. It makes the day so much better when you enjoy the people you work with.
She, like many others, count on this bakery for their livelihood.
I mean, it's keeping people employed. Smaller businesses, people have opportunities. You know, bigger businesses, it's hard to get into. You open doors to communities that are smaller, that can stay within their community and work.
Owner Tricia Stiers says she hopes to turn Simply Sweet into a double-digit million-dollar revenue company from what started as a small operation in her home.
When I started in my kitchen in Mount Vernon with 2 little ones running around and my daughter getting in the flour bag, it's just very overwhelming but a very blessed feeling to see what we're able to do in this area.
Times weren't always this easy. The COVID pandemic in 2020 forced Tricia to pivot her bakery and delis that she built up over 2 decades.
In that month, we had probably about $50,000 worth of catering that just all immediately gone. Plus we had to return deposits. And so, yeah, it was below zero where we started.
But thanks to grants from Jobs Ohio, Simply Sweet began to taste the sweetness of success.
At that time, we were able to buy the double rack oven, which took us from baking about 300 cookies at a time to baking over 1,000 in one bake.
That was in 2022. Another grant this past fall allowed Tricia to buy this.
Newest member of the family here. This is a 140-quart mixer.
Affectionately named Brutus. Tricia says this piece of machinery gave her business the game changer it needed. She is now a sought-after food manufacturing operation for grocers, distributors, and other private label brands, hoping to add even more jobs by this summer.
We're clear down to Tennessee, Mid-Atlantic, Louisville, and Columbus. Churchill Downs is looking for a cookie to sell at the Derby. And so since then, we have sent 70,000 cookies since 2023.
Running your own business is much like a race, but Tricia says businesses all need to remember who is at the heart of helping you cross that finish line.
Oh, all of them.
Most businesses move away from rural areas. And so I would say maybe contributing in that way is to bring jobs here. I've had other people who are in larger centers and they're like, how do you hire? And I can put out a job ad and have 30 applicants the next day because we just have a workforce here that is ready to work. That's probably the thing that I'm most excited about, is seeing how offering a good job can change lives and it can change their whole family dynamics and give them a way forward as well.
And since 2020, Jobs Ohio has committed up to nearly $28 million with these small business grants. That money has since supported more than 750 companies statewide. Local grant funding was administered by the Columbus Partnership. Well, last summer, we spent an entire day in another small town, Bellefontaine. We wanted to know why this city is growing so fast. We're talking from pizza shops to stores run by grandmothers. Vacant storefronts really started filling up, and one of the major developers of that area told us this.
A lot of people think that small towns don't want big city amenities, when the truth is those kinds of experiences flourish in neighborhoods like this.
And that momentum in Bellefontaine is only building. A small business that started just 1 year ago is now expanding its footprint in a huge way. Rooted in family and fueled by demand, 10 TV's Jay Plyburn talks to this mother-daughter duo about their leap of faith.
Here in downtown Bellefontaine, it's not just coffee that's brewing, it's a story of family and entrepreneurship. Always Brewing is run by a mother-daughter team who took a chance on their dream, and they say it's paying off one cup at a time.
I did butterbeer and malt stand today.
The menu items make it clear this is not your typical coffee shop.
We have some crazy lattes. We switch them out monthly. We have hand-blended teas, dirty energy drinks, dirty sodas, smoothies.
Jamie Burton co-owns the shop with her mom, Robin.
We just do everything together anyway, so why not work together?
That's really good.
Even the shop's name, Always Brewin', is rooted in family.
Our name came from my dad because he said that he loved us in Always, and so we named it after him.
They sell a variety of fancy drinks.
I like the white chocolate and caramel latte.
With even fancier names.
Berry Patch Dirty Soda. We have a lot of off-the-wall things thanks to my daughter and all her magic she does every day.
Roast Malone has been our most popular since the trailer.
The trailer she's referring to opened just 1 year ago, but quickly turned into a larger operation.
We weren't planning on opening a brick and mortar for at least like 2 years. And then when we did, we fell in love.
More space means more products. They cater to those with dietary restrictions.
We found a wonderful baker. She does our gluten-free things for us.
And are a hot spot for those who love to read.
We're actually a used bookstore as well. If people donate, it's like half price books kinda. They get like coffee points and use that towards free drinks.
It's a creative, community-focused space that's already seen strong support.
Better than we could have imagined already. It's crazy.
I have a large iced latte.
A dream many years in the making.
It's been a passion for, well, going on 10 years.
Now one of the newest places in downtown Bellefontaine, offering local charm. They say the community support has been the key to their success, something they don't take for granted as they continue growing their business. In Bellefontaine, Jay Plyburn, 10 TV News.
Well, in case you haven't seen it, there is a growing population in Central Ohio, with Asian Americans leading the way. During this month of May, celebrating Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander heritage, we spoke with a local leader, Joy Coons-Lewis, director of the Asian American Commerce Group, and she offered some insights on our streaming show, The Big Picture.
Our mission is to create synergy among Asian American businesses and the community at large to benefit all those in small businesses, especially Asian-owned.
And when we talk economic dollars and contributions, I mean, we're talking in the millions and millions of dollars statewide, right?
It's huge. We have 21,000 small businesses here in the state of Ohio, and we contribute $10.2 billion.
Billion?
Wow. Yes, $1 billion in business receipts. That's a fact.
Wow.
So that's how we impact economically.
Wow.
That's
incredible.
Mm-hmm. And I also know that the Asian American population is one of the fastest growing, kind of in the Northwest Franklin County area, Dublin area. Why? First give me the numbers and then tell me why.
Yeah, well, there are, again, Dublin has the highest, although 17,000 Asian Americans in Dublin alone, and in Delaware as well. It's a growing community and growing even in businesses. A lot of professionals, nurses, doctors, come to Ohio, especially in Dublin, and the hospitals are actually floored with Asian professionals.
And we also have Honda, the Honda plant up there in Marysville.
Of course, in Marysville. It's one of the top employers, big employer here in Central Ohio.
Wow.
Marysville.
And here's just another example of what Joy was talking about, that rhythm you're hearing. It's called Pungmonori, and it's traditional Korean folk music brought to life by drummers right here in Central Ohio. 3 of those drummers performed this week at the Bexley Asian American and Pacific Islander Festival. It started as a small, parent-led cultural celebration, but over 6 years, it has grown into a vibrant community festival. At the beginning, organizers say they couldn't even lock in food trucks, but now they're drawing in vendors, performers, and growing community support. One organizer says it's really been incredible to watch.
To me, the most rewarding part of growing this festival is seeing our kids and all of the kids in Bexley who attend having fun, sharing in the foods, in the treats around the vendor tables, seeing the performances. I think it's very much part of the American story that so many Asian and Pacific Islanders have moved to Central Ohio. And
well, be sure to check with your local community groups to see how else AAPI month is being celebrated near you. We do want to hear from you when it comes to the growth that is happening around all of us. So text us 614-460-3345. Share some of the solutions you see making Boomtown more bearable for all. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. You can always drop your question right there in the comment section as well. We're so glad you joined us for This Week in Boomtown. I'm Angela Ann. We'll see you again next week.